Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit of the WoW podcast, Blue Please on CynicalBrit.com. I deliberately held off on doing the Forsaken Starting Zone video, because I'd been told that it wasn't quite done, and after the last time I did something that wasn't quite done, people got very upset. So, I waited, and hey, look, it seems to be done. This has actually changed from the Horde intro that you saw in the Horde Intros compilation. The narration is still the same thing, it's just you are raised from a shallow grave, as opposed to raised in the tomb just below it. You are also resurrected by some Valkyr. You'll see why if you watch the Garrosh versus Sylvanas video that I have on my channel that shows that Sylvanas is using Valkyr to bring new Forsaken into the world to bolster her forces because they can't breed. And even if they did, it would be really, really weird and disgusting. Now, the cool thing about this zone, and there are actually several cool things, but this is one of the coolest, we get a little companion that comes along with us. You remember the Troll Zone, we had it there, but this is way more intensive. This guy is with you almost all the time. He hangs around, he helps you do stuff, he is a guide, as it were, but in the form of a virtual player. He is a new undead just like you are, he is trying to find his way just like you are, and the two of you work your way through the zone together. It's actually really damn awesome. Speaking of really damn awesome, hey look! It's a random abomination head. You know, it would be awesome if we could have a helmet of that. I would be very, very pleased if that were the case. Now, first thing we have to do is we've got to go and help out Undertaker Mordo. New Undead, they tend to miss parts, so he needs his embalming fluid and his needle and thread so that he can stitch new parts onto the unfortunate undead that are missing arms, eyes, legs, and other things. You'll also notice that there are tutorial windows here as well. We've seen some of these before, and they continue into this zone. This zone does make things quite easy, honestly, to find out what exactly you are going for, and as you can very clearly see, I am playing an undead hunter. What you will like, as opposed to the Worgen Hunter video I did a long time ago, they have sorted out the focus system so that you don't run out of focus after like 2 shots. You can fire more like 4, and the regeneration is a little bit faster. I believe Arcane Shot takes 25 focus, of course you can max out at 100. It seems to be not only a lot more responsive now, but you don't feel like you're being unnecessarily held back by the focus system, as opposed to in the Worgen video where I wanted the focus system to die horribly. It wasn't all that good back then. Thankfully, it's now a little better. Now, honestly, this zone is really, really good. It is. There's so much cool stuff going on. I mean, it's an interesting premise when you think about it. You've been rezzed from the dead. You are a newly minted undead, as it were. There are people being rezzed around you. Some of them are not particularly happy about it. And you are engaged with a number of characters that are persistent throughout the zone, and you will talk to them later. One of them you saw in my Tirisful Glades tour video. It's Lillian Voss, and we're going to go speak to her. You'll also notice these handy little arrows above their heads. I have no idea when these came into the game. They're probably already in Wrath. I never quested past, like, the first 2 weeks of Wrath when I got to maximum level, so big care about this kind of thing. But hey, it's nice that new players will get pointed to where you need to go. Now, we've got to speak to some undead here. We're a little bit of an undead counselor, what can I say? Like, well, you've recently come back from the dead, we're going to try and help you out, but that guy was very insulting. Just because I'm missing the lower half of my jaw, that doesn't make me an evil monster. And yes, I don't have any elbows. Right, Lillian Voss. She's such an intriguing character, one of the only undead with blue glowy eyes. She also has supernatural powers, I might add. And you will discover a number of interesting things about her throughout the zone. And she has a tendency of running away a lot. She's not particularly happy with a lot in life, or should I say death. This guy, however, he seems to be pretty accepting of it, which is kind of cool. We had the angry guy who's going to make his own undead with blackjack and hookers. We had Lillian Voss, who's terrified of the whole thing and is disgusted by it. And Valdred's missing his hands, but it's okay because we got him some new ones. They're probably better than the ones he used to have anyway. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I suppose. Let's go fight for the undead. Yeah. Sounds awesome. It's better than being completely dead, right? I get this style and waistcoat. It's nice, isn't it? It doesn't teach you anything at all. It's like, are you being trained for doing future content? No! But the game asks, are you not entertained? And we said, well, we kind of are, actually. This is quite funny. And it's also really unique. It's a neat perspective, isn't it? Like, well, I'm undead, so surely my starting zone isn't really going to be the same. It's not going to be the same nonsense, is it? It's going to be me accepting my new life as undead and perhaps going through my emo phase while I like My Chemical Romance and brush my hair in a weird way. Ah, Darnell's back. Cool. And he also knows more than me. He's also taller than me. Look at the size of that guy. Yes, I can follow you. Thank you. Stop treating me like an idiot. I know I've only been undead for the last, 5 minutes, but still, I can remember how to move my legs. I can remember how to follow people. It's not that tricky. Okay, we also have a quest that we can get here, and there's the Hunter Trainer. Can't get Steady Shot yet. That's going to have to wait till level 3. And as you might imagine, there is a introduction to the Steady Shot mechanic, just like we saw in the Human Zone, things like that. Right. There are zombies on our lawn. There are zombies on our lawn. Yeah, they're the nasty kind of zombies. They're not the ones that have table manners like the Forsaken. They're actually really rude. Abrasive, one might say. We have to deal with them. How do we do that? Well, we are going to kill them, and we also have a quest to get some Scarlet Corpses. Don't ask what they're going to do with those. It's just best that you don't. Now, thankfully, the big dude can do the heavy lifting for us. And this is quite amusing, because he can carry 6 corpses on his back. It's quite impressive when you think about it. It's like, why don't you just let this guy kill Deathwing? He's obviously strong enough. He's a badass. I get to do the killing, which is always fun. Terrain's still a little bit buggy around here, but it's getting there. It's a pretty solid starting zone nonetheless. Those of you wondering how far I'm going to go in this video, I'm going to go up to the area where it sends you elsewhere. So, just like the human starting zone, it's about a 25-minute segment, and it will then send you elsewhere at around level 5 or 6, give or take. I will probably continue this zone, because I did enjoy this bit so much. I mean, this is easily on the level of the Troll starting zone in terms of how entertaining it is, but I think it's got a more unique perspective than the Troll starting zone on things. I like the idea of the way that they've put a very morbid spin on everything, and you'd expect that, but still, they've done it very well. I want to know what happens to Lillian Voss, because that's very mysterious. They've created quite a compelling character there. I also want to know what happens to Darnell, because you see Darnell throughout this zone, and things happen to Darnell, and you do care a little bit about Darnell. You care about him more than that guy who followed you around in the Troll Zone, because you see more of him, and this guy actually helps you out, whereas the other guy was just kind of annoying. Like the fanboy in Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Ugh. You know you wanted to throw that guy off a cliff, and when you did it, he'd be right back at the start saying you're awesome. Oh, why? Probably the worst thing about that game when I think about it. Oh, wait, no it wasn't. Oh, well. Okay, so we've dealt with the killing. We've still got to find the Scarlet Corpses, however. Aren't all that many of them. I'm not impressed, guys. Come on, more Scarlet Slaughter is required. Those guys are a bunch of idiots. Also, is it just me? Or have they changed the character portraits a bit? I've noticed on a number of my recent videos that those character portraits are not the same as we're used to on the live servers. Maybe the angle's a little bit different, or they've put a little bit more shadow or shading on them. Whatever the case, they do look a little unusual. You see there, that's... Even the angle seems to be a little different to the normal angle. It's like they've angled the head slightly and then applied some shadow to it. Okay, up you go. It's pretty impressive when you think about it. He doesn't even need his hands. He's still carrying his sword and shield around. Look at that guy. He's a badass. Send him into battle and the rest of us can just retire. Okay. I shall have a cloth belt, which I will invariably replace very quickly indeed. And naturally this is... Well, that was very uncivilized, wasn't it? Oh, well. These quests are designed to get you to level 3 right here, so that you can then go straight to the trainer. It is deliberately designed that way, which makes perfect sense. That's the way zones are supposed to be.
What do you require?
A steak. Actually, do I eat now? I don't know. I'm undead. I suppose I do. I've got the cannibalize ability. Those of you wondering about the cannibalize ability, by the way, it now also regenerates mana, so it's a bit better than it used to be. It's worth using Cannibalize. It's a nice downtime avoidance mechanic. Not that you will need it before level 10, because you've seen the increased regeneration from level 1 to 10. There is no such thing as downtime in the early levels. I'd like to say that this explains how Forsaken are hunters now, but it doesn't. It's like, well, We kind of need hunters, so I guess we'll do hunters. And here is this plague bear. Here you go. Yeah, he doesn't tell you anything of note. Here is another of these basic training quests that they've put into the game, which I, again, think is a great idea. Tells you how to use your first ability, then tells you to go use the ability on something. In this case, we need to shoot it at some dummies, which are not appearing on the map for whatever reason, but they're actually just over there. There we go, you can just see them around the corner there. We've got the target on it, and there's your steady shot. For those of you who didn't catch the first time around, steady shot now takes no focus, so that's going to be the shot that you're going to be spamming. If you run out of focus, you can just keep hitting steady shot. You can also, of course, add your instant shots like Arcane in there as well, and you can come up with a rotation that will make sense. Those of you who are hunters in live will no doubt have to retrain a little bit, because the focus system is certainly different to what you're used to. But it's not bad. Not anymore, anyway. It used to be pretty abysmal, but it seems to be quite reasonable now. Okay, now Lillian Voss is hanging around here somewhere, so I believe she's upstairs, hiding in a corner, crying. Wine, 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 you brought me back from the dead, how dare you?
Yes.
Also, what are you terrified of? There's nothing there. There's probably a spider in the corner somewhere. Here you go, here's your face. This will make you feel better. Of course it's not going to make her feel better. Oh, don't cry, you're not a monster. Here's a mirror to prove that you are. No wonder she runs away from you all the time. This guy's never going to get a date. Not going to happen. It is cool, though, because, like, you don't understand. Well, yeah, you're right, I don't. And actually, I would like to know, because you're a little bit unusual, aren't you? Those blue, glowy Death Knight eyes, yet you're clearly not a Death Knight, so what's going on there? Well, you do sort of find out. Not in this video, but later on. And I will continue this zone, just because there is a lot of cool stuff in it, and I would like to know what's going on with Lillian Voss. Right. Let's move along a little bit, shall we? We're going to Death Knell, and we're going to get our next set of quests. So I shall accelerate this. There isn't a huge amount of running around in this zone, which is good. Silverpine has quite a lot of travel, but there is a method by which you can do so a little quicker, which I will happily show you at some point. I think I might continue leveling this into Silverpine just so I can show you. There are some neat things in there. Also, you get to splat a bunch of Worgen, which is even better. Bloody furries. Right. Generic kill quest. It's not too bad, really. It gives you a nice shooting range to utilize your steady shot on and kind of practice your rotation. It's like, hey, steady shot into Arcane. It's not that hard. You do kill very, very quickly indeed. And I got me little spider. Oh, yeah, isn't he cute? Not really. He's actually kind of ugly spider, really. But he doesn't care. Would you? If you were a spider that looked like that, would you care? I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't care about the opinion of some lesser commentator. It's like, hey, I'm a spider. I'm badass. I'm red and black. Makes me go faster. I'm stealthy in the night. He doesn't even respond to my orders. That's how much he doesn't care. Like, I'm just going to go do what I want. I'll go attack this dude if you like. I might use web every now and again if I feel like it. But only if I feel like it, and it's my decision. It's a very independent spider. But yeah, these are very, very easy and quick to kill. But once again, it's a nice shooting range to practice the mechanics of steady shot in an environment where things are actually going to try and kill you. They're not going to do a particularly good job of it. I mean, these things can't even get to me before I kill them. So, yeah, there you go. Hunters at the start seem to be extremely powerful right now. Obviously, they're much more powerful than they used to be at this level, because they have a pet. But honestly, the pet barely gets there before I'm able to slaughter them with steady shot and arcane shot. I'd imagine they do level off a little bit, and I was having plenty of problems with my old Worgen Hunter with fire that was retired as a result of the problems with the pets at the time. I imagine most of that was due to the pets, but here you can just see the damage we're able to put out is extensive, and the damage I was able to put out at level 11 or 12 with the Hunter was far from it. Even using concussive shot to kite around, I still wasn't able to kill them that fast. There we go, hand in. Now, surely you'll give me something more interesting after this, and hey, look, the leather belt. No, you're going to ask me to do that again, aren't you? And this time with more of them. Not exactly what I'd call necessary, really. Again, you've got these neutral mobs that can't really do anything to you. It is like shooting fish in a barrel. So, why are we asked to do it? So far, this zone's been really, really good. I think this quest is unnecessary. Why couldn't they have put something else in there? They've just given you a generic kill quest that has given you more than ample opportunity to practice Steady Shot and Arcane Shot. Or, of course, whatever other mechanic you learned at level 3, dependent on your class. It's really not that hard. I mean, I just stand here taking pot shots at everything. It's really simple, and I don't see the point. This would be the area where you'd put in a different kind of quest to vary things up. I just don't see the purpose of giving you a generic kill and then giving you another generic kill for no really good reason. If it was part of a storyline whereby you're going up the chain of command or whatever, or you're slaughtering things for good reason, this is just, hey, there's spiders around, could you go kill some spiders? They're infesting the mine, and all of our miners are really, really, really scared of spiders. You know how it is. Forsaken, really creeped out by spiders. So, can you go clear it out a little bit for us? That would be great. Yeah, this would be the point where I wouldn't put in another generic kill. I would put in something else. Why don't you put in an escort quest here? Okay, cool. The spider's in here. Well, what about, let's just say, there was a piece of lost mining equipment in there that you really need to get out. Why don't we get Darnell to carry it? Have Darnell come along and sort of have it as an escort quest, and Darnell be like, I will pull the cart out, or I will push little cart, and you defend me from the spiders. That's a much better quest, surely, and it introduces you to another concept, i.e. that of the escort quest, as opposed to that of the, we're gonna just go kill some more spiders that aren't actually aggressive. Sounds better, right? Surely? Is that a useful bit of feedback? Okay, that about covers it. We just need to kill the last young night spider. There are no young spiders inside here. Only the big ones. They don't get to come in. I like how they just send the young ones out to be slaughtered easily, and all of the old guys just hang around inside the mine where it's safer. It's a bit cruel, isn't it? I don't know an awful lot about spider society. Seems a little bit cutthroat for my liking. I don't think you need to see the run back, but hey! Delicious crossbow. We must wield it. And now we're going to go see our friend Darnell once again. He's planning an attack. There is a group of Forsaken that aren't really like the others. They're rebels. So we're going to have to go put down that particular rebellion, because they are a bunch of pests. That, and they have a pretty disgraceful name. I mean, I don't know who their PR manager is, but their branding is horrible, really. They're not going to get anywhere calling themselves the Rot Brain. Right. Hey, Darnell, how are you doing? Chilling out as always? Excellent. Looks like we're going to go slaughter some stuff. There's going to be a battle. And I will have one of those weapons. Thank you very much. We are assaulting the Rotbrain encampment. We have to go kill some Rotbrain undead, and the Marshal who's leading them. Now, this is way better than a generic kill quest, because they've made this a little bit cinematic. So, let's dash up here, shall we? You will note some things wandering around here. This, I think, is a phasing bug, as far as I can tell, because we go here, and then suddenly, it ends up in a battle. I think they need to maybe do something with that. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. It's jarring in terms of the transition. Whatever the case, yes, there is a giant fight going on. You are part of an actual fight, and I am here to tip the balance, as always. I don't know why Darnell isn't getting involved in this, really. Where the hell is he? He'd probably kill all of them. But for the meantime, I'm just going to stand about 40 yards away and kill people. That's what a hunter does. My spider isn't really getting any piece of the action here. Go on, go get a bite. He must be pissed off with me by now. Why do you keep kill stealing from me? I'll never get any last hits at this rate. Okay, 7. And just one more required, and then we can go find the Marshal. Will you go away? I mean, really. Hitting me with the stick. It's very rude. Yeah, fancy, yes. Mad skills. Not really. Basic principle of hunter. Okay, where the hell's the Marshal? One has to assume he's over here. He's just standing around doing nothing. One has to wonder why. No wonder they're losing the fight. Hey, I'm a beast. I'm the most badass warrior we have. I'm just going to stand near my tent. Because, you know, all my stuff's in there. Not exactly much of a beast, is he? Oh well. Lucky crits for the win. Alright, where's Darnell? He's around here somewhere. Is he buggered off? Now, maybe I just missed him in the fight. I don't know where he is. I saw some big undead, but they were the rot-brained berserkers. I'm sure he'd have wanted to get stuck in, and he wasn't just going to hang around and leave me there. He's my buddy, right? He's awesome. Everybody loves the Darnell. Okay, hand in time. And once we're done here, as you can see, this is going to get us to level 5, and it wraps up the quest series quite nicely, very tidily, and sends you on to the next area. Like I say, I'm fairly impressed with this zone, honestly. I think they've really done a pretty good job with it. There are a couple of things that I would like changed, but otherwise, it's good. It really is very solid. Oh, hey, Darnell. How you doing, bud? Very snazzy, yes. He got promoted to a death guard. I don't know why, he wasn't doing anything. I'm the one who did all the work. Goddamn overachieving bastards getting carried by me. It is cool, though. Hopefully we get to see Darnell later. Somehow I can't help but read that in a sarcastic accent. How about you? I've heard that they're sending you over to the farm. Big assignment, eh? Yeah. Now, you've got to admire that guy. He's awesome. He's just a generally nice, cool dude. Very helpful. And no doubt he'll probably get slaughtered later on or something. It would be nice if all the cool characters didn't get killed off in WoW. That would be great. Spider needs to level up a little bit. Where's me Thor? Could do with a little bit of a companion for the road. I always get confused with hunters because I click pet and it ends up being my pet as opposed to a companion. There we go. Much better. Alright, so we're going to dash all the way over here to the Calston Estate. That's a new questing hub. You'll remember that from the Tirisfal video. There's a large abomination there called Gordo and a number of interesting things, which is where we are going to end our video. I will tour us through here just for the sake of it so that you can have a look at what's going on. I think they have done an exceptional job in engaging you into the undead storyline. Much better than they used to. Like, yes, you are an undead, yes, you are forsaken, and these are the kind of things you're going to have to be concerned with. It's very matter-of-fact, very serious, a little bit of black humor in there, which is always good. In terms of the starting zone, it's well-designed, it's well-created, everything's in the right place, you don't have to run too much. Obviously, it's a little bit of a dash over to the next questing area, but that's to be expected. They've even sort of sealed off the area a little bit like the Valley of Trials so that you don't accidentally wander outside of it and get eaten by a welcome bear. And there we go. This is the actual Tirisfal Glades area. Have a little bit of a dash over there. I don't know what it is with the undeads and lighting these days. I mean, they seem to be big into their purple, but now they've got all these green glowy things all over the place. Don't ask me why. I do like the architecture that they've taken from Wrath, though. This purple design with the glowing and the awesome is fantastic. Really, really cool. Much better than it used to be. It used to be very boring to look at. Now they've made it a lot more vibrant, but they've done so in a way that makes sense in the context of being undead. It's not like you've got neon signs all over the place. It's not the Goblin Zone. It's just got this eerie, otherworldly glow to it. It's also, I might add, the same colour scheme that they use in their actual flag, so it makes sense. You see that motif all over the place. Right, this is where we're going to end it, folks. I will do some more of this because it is pretty neat. I don't know when, because I've got a lot of heroic videos that are coming in the pipeline. It's going to take some time. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and like I say, my assessment of that is pretty damn awesome. A couple of changes required. My name's been Totalbiscuit, and I will see you next time. And where's me jaw? Anyone seen me jaw?